Okay. Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I'm here with your interactive Red Rocket film review. This is a movie. This is a movie, Red Rocket, that I've been wanting to see for 2 or 3 weeks. I was under the mistaken thought that this movie took place in the state of Florida. It does not. It takes place in the state of Tejas, Texas, with a lot of talk about Los Angeles as well. So, first off, I will give a non spoiler um, thought. Is it worth seeing? I think it's worth seeing. I don't think this is a movie for everybody, but if you like character studies, if you like kind of the underside of society, dare I say white trash, if you like those type of characters, I think you'd like this movie. Like I said, it's not a movie for everybody. I'm trying to think of other. It's not as extreme as say something like Kids from 1994, or if you remember Precious. My buddy Michael AJ Norris is checking in with the yo. How's it going, Michael? Michael's a good contributor. By the way, folks, Mikey Tiers membership is now offered for exclusive content here on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. For only 99 cents a month, you can see videos that are too hot for the mainstream, including AEW House Always Wins footage, Suicide Girls footage you won't see anywhere else, and so forth. Only 99 cents a month to be a Mikey tier. Who will be the first to sign up? So let's go back to this review. I guess I'll get into the spoilers section of our show. Michael's contributing some wrestling thoughts here first. Vince McMahon hates Triple H, and recent fires were shot at him because H wants takeover. They're going to be his team. Well, AJ, if you check out my video, buddy, on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel, my AEW apologist video just yesterday morning, I did a very intensive thought on that. Also, I refer you to my Triple H in therapy video from this past summer, which holds more accurately together than anything else you can see. Triple H in therapy on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Going back to this film, Red Rocket, I did like the movie. It's about a guy, oddly enough, named Mikey. Mikey comes back to Texas at the beginning of the film. He's all beat up. He's taking a bus ride back to Texas. He shows up at a home. There's a woman there about his age, and it's revealed that this is his former lover, and it's actually his wife. They've never been officially divorced, and she's living with her mother. And Mikey's looking for a free place to live. Of course, they have a big conflict. They're arguing. She threatens to call the police, but eventually he charms his way back into the home. And it's revealed at some point in the movie that the two of them were porn stars together at one point, 15 years earlier. About the these two from Texas had gone off to LA, become porn stars. Something happened in their relationship. They broke up for a while. She left the porn industry, came home to sleep, to be with her mom. And Mikey stayed in the porn industry on his own. So now something's happened. I do see your comment there. I'll address that in a moment. And he's come back, and here he is. He's back, and he's living in the house, and he's apparently trying to get work, but the only work he can get is a weed dealer. There's a funny montage where he goes on a bunch of job interviews for normal jobs, and he can't help himself but explain to people that he's a porn star and they should Google him. Some of the people, their interactions at these job interviews are pretty funny. One woman seems pretty intrigued by it. And eventually he gets money selling marijuana, drugs. Like I said, a very white trash film, white trash characters, I should say. And then we go into. Now, this is a good question, actually, but let me finish this film review. But I will get to your question, AJ. Mikey, do you think The Rock could play James Bond, be the first American to play him? A good question. Let me get to that. But first, we continue this instant movie review with Red Rocket. White trash abounds. He's selling marijuana. Him and his ex-wife start sleeping together, or his current wife starts sleeping together, having sex. Um, and eventually, he finds he takes the ladies, his mother-in-law, and his wife out to a donut shop. They walk to the donut shop. He's got no automobile, and he finds himself intrigued with the cashier at the donut shop. Now, of course, she looks like she's about 15 years old. It's revealed later that her character is 3 weeks shy of 18, but that doesn't stop our hero from pursuing this very young woman. His character is probably at least 40, it looks like. And the actress, I don't know how old she was. She did a good job in her role, but she's basically playing the Lolita type. She looked like she was 18 or around those ages. She didn't look like a 25-year-old actress playing 18 or 17, I should say. She looked like she was pretty damn young. So, lo and behold, there's physical attraction there. Of course, from him to her, she eventually reciprocates. You get the idea that this small town in Texas, there's not much else to do but fuck and do drugs and get into trouble and mischief. And so it kind of paints this portrait of a town, and also a time thing. A time stamp on this movie is that there's a lot of footage and a lot of Donald Trump election campaign signs. So this movie's taking place in 2016. We know that because there's also Hillary references and no worldwide situation references, and no Biden running for president. So the movie takes place in the late summer, maybe September of 2016. They did a nice job of conveying that information without spelling it out for you. Overall, I like the movie. Like I said, I think, this is the type of movie where you have to go into it and have an open mind. I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but I can see women especially being offended by this film, that this 40-year-old porn star is trying to seduce this 17-year-old donut cashier girl. I mean, I can see that this movie, with that element, might lose some people. And of course you question the motivations of this guy. He's as his wife calls him, he's a suitcase pimp. So he's definitely an anti-hero. Type of movie that I like to call a cathartic journey, where you see the main character suffering throughout the film. There was this screenwriting book you might be familiar with for the film fans out there called Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. He had all these genres of film broken down, and he, in his comedy, buddy love, all this stuff like buddy cop movies, and he said Golden Fleece was one of them. He said, if you have thoughts that there's some type of genre beyond what I've listed, please write to me and tell me what you think a genre should be that I enlist in my book. So I fucking wrote to the guy, and I said, I think that there's a genre called cathartic journey. And I pointed out movies like The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, and Passion of the Christ, and a night in the life of Jimmy Reardon, which is a really good River Phoenix movie that most people don't know about. And I said a movie like this, a cathartic journey, is when we watch the main hero suffer and suffer and suffer throughout the film, and we don't even have a good ending. And so Blake wrote back, he emailed me back, well, that's very interesting. However, what you're really trying to say is Golden Fleece with a bad ending. So we had a difference of opinion there. I just think that he didn't want to give credit to anyone else for thinking of stuff beyond what he thought of in his life. And but we had a nice give and take in the emails. And then I said, hey, good old Blake Snyder, I make films. Would you like to watch one of my films? Would you like to watch a film that I created, the Wrestling with Sanity short film trilogy, which now, of course, you can see on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. And Blake Snyder was nice enough to say, yes, gee whiz, I'd love to see your film. And this was the days of DVDs, so I asked him for his address. He gave it to me. I sent him my DVD of the Wrestling with Sanity short film trilogy. I waited patiently by my email to see what he would say. No response ever came. And then a couple of months later, I was on the internet just thinking, well, I guess Blake just kind of forgot about me or whatever, didn't watch my film. And I Googled Blake Snyder, and he was dead. Blake had passed away shortly after. I'm just, sad, but shortly after we had been in communication, the poor guy died. And I was just hoping that, I hope that my DVD of Wrestling with Sanity, like he didn't have a heart attack thinking how great the film was. But anyway, that's my long story short. Vegan, I can respect that we now have Impossible Whopper and now vegan chicken KFC. What the hell is vegan chicken? Good point. I think what it is, Michael, and I'm going to get to all your questions, buddy. I think vegan chicken is basically, it's not chicken. It's just a tofu or some type of vegetable concoction or soy patty that has the essence of chicken without actually being chicken, like the flavor of chicken. Kind of like when you have ramen noodles and they say like chicken flavor or shrimp flavor. There's no fucking chicken and shrimp in that. It just says it. You might be noticing I'm outside of a McDonald's. I haven't been eating chicken lately, folks. I've been eating only beef. So let's get to all these comments. Okay, so the first one, Michael, I did reference this. Watch my Monty the Pharaoh YouTube channel rant from yesterday, week 16, the new year for AEW. I talk about the NXT, how they're picking the bones, Regal, Samoa Joe, Scott Armstrong, Road Dogg. I mean, waiting for Shawn Michaels to get fired. Good point about this Mickie James thing, especially because wasn't it like 6 or 8 months ago that she was fired and had the whole trash can thing? You know what I mean? Let's see. All right, we got another question. Let me go through all your comments in order, buddy. So I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I don't know if Mickie James lost her little Impact Women's title last night. Maybe WWE is trying to team up with somebody because AEW is doing all this stuff with Japan and everything. Mikey, do you think The Rock could play Bond? Yeah, he probably could. I mean, to be honest, The Rock as James Bond would be mega money. And that's what it all comes down to. I personally think he would be a great James Bond. Good idea, Michael A.J. Norris, especially now that Daniel Craig is out. I mean, The Rock would definitely have a different aesthetic. He would be a younger, more muscular James Bond. I mean, would he? See, Daniel Craig went so, as I like to say, under the character. Daniel Craig was such a good actor and very intense. I mean, it would be a different flavor with The Rock. It would be more like the Sean Connery or even the Roger Moore versions of James Bond. But I think it would be interesting. A good idea, AJ. Vegan, I can respect that we have Impossible Whopper. I've had that a few times, buddy. The only problem with these places, no offense to Burger King, but you got to tell them to like fucking ease up on that goddamn ketchup. What I like about McDonald's now, McDonald's app, you can actually tell them not to put salt on your fucking burger. Whether or not they actually follow instructions, I don't know. But at least you feel like you're trying. Mikey, request Taco Bell wings. Let me know your thoughts on that. I don't know if I would trust, no offense to Taco Bell. There's a Taco Bell right across the street where I'm at right now. I don't know if I would appreciate wings from Taco Bell, to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to try a little something different. If you don't mind, I'm going to try a little interaction, folks. Some video clips. Let's just check out some fun here from recent tapings. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. You can see clips like this on my shorts, AEW clips. Watch this. It's kind of fun, wasn't it? I don't know if you saw that. It was kind of fun. Hey, Sammy, how's it going, Sammy? Just talking about this movie I just saw, Red Rocket. I did advise it. Showed a little wrestling clip, Sammy. In fact, I might have another little wrestling clip for you right here, buddy. Watch this. I'm trying to figure out how to, take me out of the picture though when I show it. Let's see. I just thought it's kind of fun. We can, break up the monotony of me talking with some fun stuff. I don't know if that's fun for you guys. It's kind of fun for me. I do think you guys should be watching Chris and the Coffee Girl, the Philadelphia Experiment. I have a teaser for that right now, Sammy, if you want to see it, buddy. Do have some more comments. Drew McIntyre looks like he hurt bad with neck. Hope not like Stone Cold Edge. Yeah, I do like Drew McIntyre. I do think he's a good wrestler. As far as these WWE guys go, I mean, Drew McIntyre is about as good as it gets. They chumped him out at WrestleMania, had him losing by submission in the curtain jerker. Made no fucking sense. But, I mean, he's a guy that the fans get behind. He's a good talent. He's a great physical shape. He's serious in his presentation. This sword is ridiculous that they've stuck him with. There's no reason for a guy that size to be walking around with a sword. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Here's a Chris and the Coffee Girl teaser, Sammy and AJ. I want you guys to check this out.
Or he should not, or he should stand Penny up and then something. But to me, the story development is he's in a quagmire.
Yeah.
He's a loser because he's in a quagmire. The book's trying to get him out of it. The book senses he needs a life, and then he wants Penny, but finds he can get laid and become popular, and that almost blows it with Penny.
Right.
And then he realizes what he really wanted all along was Penny. Or he thinks he wants to get laid, and he also wants Penny.
Right.
And then it's a matter of, do I want to get laid or do I want Penny?
Right.
And then he chooses getting laid first, and with all the benefits of it, finding out that, that's why it really needed a script rewrite. But we can get close enough to there. So,
okay.
All right. So let's go to Big Scary Dude.
So I highly suggest you watch that. Make that part of your weekly watching. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are currently up, folks, of Chris and the Coffee Girl, the Philadelphia Experiment. Very exciting stuff, myself and Raven and so forth. I watched the Battle of the Belts last night, AEW, for the wrestling fans that are with me, Sammy, AJ, whoever else is chiming in. It was a 1-hour show. I watched it kind of on tape delay. I watched it on mic time, and I wasn't offended that it was just a 1-hour show. It was just a little bit odd to have this Saturday night presentation and just have a 1-hour show. But I thought it was a pretty solid hour of wrestling for free. The Sammy Guevara Goldust match or Dustin Rhodes match is quite good. I guess I said Goldust because at one point Dustin kind of went into Goldust mode in the corner, or at least he teased it. I thought it was a good match. Sammy winning. And I did watch this chick, Denise, on one of the wrestling podcast things. And she was contemplating that Daniel, what's the guy's name? Not Daniel Craig, but Daniel Garcia. If he were to beat Sammy on Dynamite for that interim title, wouldn't that be interesting? Because then you'd have Daniel as the interim champion going against Cody, the normal champion. People are kind of wondering, why did they do this interim title thing? I think they kind of booked themselves into a corner. They labeled this show as being Battle of the Belts, and then the timing was off a little bit because they just had this Daniel Bryan or fucking Bryan Danielson Hangman Page match for the world title. They just had that on the Dynamite before. The tag titles just changed. They had that horrible injury to Rey Fenix, as we've discussed. And so now you're putting things like the FTW title on the line. I guess they could have had the TBS title. They could have dragged out Jade Cargill for a first title defense, but they had Dr. Britt in a nice main event against Riho, which I thought was a good match. And I do like both of those ladies, Riho and Dr. Britt. My point is this, folks. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. It was free. I mean, if Yeah, if you didn't like the show, get your fucking money back at that point. So I thought it was fine. What else? I don't know. See if I get any other things I can show you guys. All right, just having fun here, gentlemen. Let's see if we can do a little. Here's something you might enjoy. Okay, getting all hot and bothered here. You have to join the Mikey Tiers, 99 cents a month, to get the exclusive content like that. So I don't know, folks. Just contemplating life, what's happening, what's going on. Everyone's excited, blah, blah, blah. And, it is what it is, right? So, I mean, if there's any further comments, it's Sunday. You know what I mean? It is Sunday night. I guess today was the last day of the NFL season. I did not really watch. I caught a few clips. I saw that the Cowboys were decimating the Eagles last night. The Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, they had their chances this year. I mean, if they had won a couple of those close games, they could have been a playoff team, but it's very difficult when you have an owner like Daniel Snyder, who's not a good owner, and the poor Washington football team players always feel like they're on the road. They have no home field advantage because they're getting booed at home. It's kind of sad. I guess the Patriots are in. I'm not sure if they're hitting a peak right now. I mean, here's a good thing that somebody said on one of these fucking telecasts, is that it's not like who's the best team overall. It's who's hot during the playoffs, especially in football when it's a one and done, basically a single elimination tournament. Too many fucking teams in the tournament, by the way. I think we've got 14 teams now in the playoffs out of 32 NFL teams. It's too much, in my opinion. I think I like the 12-team format. I mean, even now, with I kind of like the 10-team format. I mean, I like the fact that teams used to have to fight to even get in the playoffs. Now it's almost like the NHL. For those hardcore fans who remember NHL, at one point there was 16 teams that get into the playoffs in a 21-team league. Absurd. So I don't know. Well, gentlemen, I see that the lines have gone dead. That's okay. If there's any further comments, queries, questions, feel free to add them. Otherwise, I'm going to call this a night. No offense. Red Rocket, I do suggest it. I think if you have delicate sensibilities, if you're offended by a 40-year-old man fucking a 17-year-old girl, you probably won't like this movie or whatever, because I mean, it is kind of a predatorial thing, but at the same time, the young lady, and I don't know, I didn't make the goddamn movie. I just watched it. So you'd have to decide for yourself. I can't tell you what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Some people would be offended that it's a porn star is the hero of the film, a white trash, marijuana selling porn star who's kind of a pedophile in a sense, but I don't know what to tell you. The movie is pretty good. It's entertaining. It's not going to solve cancer, but I mean, I like the fucking movie. Sue me. There you go. I mean, but the acting was pretty good. Some people didn't even look like actors, to be honest with you. They just looked like regular people. So it did have that genuine quality. I'll give you one more clip here, gentlemen. Looks like everybody's left, so why should I give you a clip? Once again, subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Very good. See you later. Buy my book. Do everything I say. Oh, we got one more comment. Carl, what's up, Carl? Good to see you, buddy. Carl's always here. Just about to wrap things up, Carl. Nice to see you. Hope you had a good weekend, buddy. I did recently see my WrestleMania 22 disc in my collection, and I thought of you, Carl, because I know that you were there in person for that John Cena Triple H match. Okay, everyone. Have a good night. Good to see you.